What's up, everybody? We back. We're catching up with Coach. I got my man Ed Fintress here. Tell the people who Ed is, man. Let them know.
My name is Ed Fentress. Graduated from Bristol High School, 2001. Went off to college in Kansas. Dealt with some obstacles there. Came back to Cumberland County. Played basketball for them. Got my degree in Wilmington. Worked a little bit at an alternative school for about 8 years till I finished my degree. Working with the youth with disabilities and stuff like that. Currently, currently now, I'm working in Bristol at Cherry Street School as the attendance officer. And what the attendance officer does is kids that are truant, missing school, I kind of call the parent. I go to the house, see what's going on, see what we can do to get them back in school on the right path. Whether the parent needs some resources, the kid needs some motivation, whatever we got to do to get those kids in school is kind of what I do, and also coach the Bristol middle school basketball team,
Awesome.
and and I run the rec league in Bristol, the Bristol rec league from ages 8 to 14. Yeah, so just doing that.
Wow, that's awesome stuff, man. Appreciate you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing for the community, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's all we can do because the youth is our future, man.
That's
So So we can't depend on nobody to do it. We can't wait. We can't complain about what's going on. We gotta put our boots to the ground and just try to make it happen. Especially what you doing, man. I want to shout you out before I go any further, man. You doing a lot of awesome, good stuff, man. Right now, especially with this pandemic we got going on, doing some good stuff, man. Appreciate you.
thanks, bro. Appreciate the encouragement, man. So, what you running the rec league, man? What are some challenges that you meet in like impoverished areas like ours? How is it, a league in areas like this, man? The pitfalls.
Um, just trying to keep the league, trying to make sure the kids got the proper equipment, the basketballs, uniforms are nice and stuff like that without trying to charge them a high cost, knowing which area we in. So try to limit that cost. Sometimes that be the hardest thing. Try to make sure it's affordable, but you still want to make sure it's nice. Their jerseys are nice. You got good referees. You just don't want to run a league just to run it and it doesn't look or compare to other leagues where kids are playing in.
Exactly. That's the truth, man. So how can we get people to take more pride in the area, like you said, man, like the cleanliness, the civic pride, whether it be voting the right people in or out, and just coming together as a community, man. How can we take more pride in that? Getting behind things.
Um, I I think it's time for our generation in between 25 and 30. Well, I'm gonna say between 25 and 40, man. We really gotta lead our youth in the right direction. No more talking, no more like I said, waiting. With a lot of this stuff going on, the police brutality and things like that. We can't blame it on nobody. We gotta put our boots on the ground, gather our friends, our family, our neighbor. If mom is working, we gotta help her out. And I really believe that it takes a village, and that's
Right.
what I think that we got away from. Because I know when I was growing up, on my block, the neighbor had the right to tell my mom or my grandma, my father, something that I was doing wrong and correct me. And I think
Right.
sometimes in this generation, too many times we just assuming that person don't got the best interest in our child, and we quick to defend our child instead of just communicating, see what we can do together to just try to get that child on the right path, man. It's just all of us coming together, man.
Exactly. And that's some good points, man, because that's what it does take, man. It takes a village. And like I try to tell people all the time, even with us being parents, man, sometimes we have to outsource. We don't always have all the answers. And sometimes your kids just pick and choose. And like sometimes we can become white noise to them. Man, my dad say that all the time. And sometimes it take that neighbor or that other coach to say, man, let me show you this. And then all of a sudden you can be preaching it for 5 years and pick it up in 5 minutes just because they heard it from somebody else, you know?
Yeah. just keep putting that positivity in them, and just hopefully, that light bulb will go off and it'll click. Whether it's from you, like you said, the neighbor, the coach, the teacher. As long as we surround them, with positive people.
Exactly. Yeah, man. So with that, man, how do you see the youth today? You know, yeah, whether it be in the school, through coaching, the community. How do you see them, man?
Um, I just see them. They just looking for somebody to follow, man. Whether it's positive or negative, they just looking for a role model, somebody to encourage them. Somebody to come to their games just to be in the stands and watching. Because sometimes like parents are working second shifts, and sometimes cousin, friend, or former coach got to go show that kid support, because the last thing you want as a kid, doing something and feel as though nobody's watching, nobody's supporting. So I think we got to just get back to that, man, just supporting that kid and whatever they could do.
Man, that's awesome stuff, man. So with the community as a whole, man, how do you think we can fix it holistically, bro?
Oh man, whole. I just think it takes one one person at a time. We gotta do our we just gotta do our part, man. First, we gotta get out and vote. That's important. We gotta get out of that mentality that that our vote doesn't count. So we really gotta educate our people on our voting systems, and just see how things work as far as getting funding for our community and things like that. I think that plays a big part in it. Just getting out and voting, going to the school board meetings, just knowing what's going on in the school, just knowing what's going on in the community, because we got a voice, and we can do some things. We just got to show up and show out, man, and be positive, man.
That's right. And how do you think we can get more of our men involved in everything, man? Like just brothers in general. How can we get men more motivated to understand that they're needed and they're important? Because sometimes we just like, oh man, coach got it or the mentor got it. Let me fall back because I'm not the best uh, option or suitable person for my kid to follow. So sometimes they just fall back and say, man, the coach is a better example than me. How can we get them out of that mindset to like, nah, let's help you too. You know what I mean?
I think we gotta continue to encourage them, and whatever they may have been through in life, whatever they have did in the past, we gotta somehow get past that and use that as a energy and motivation, because sometimes people do things in their past, and they don't want to come forward and volunteer. Then we got a lot of rules in place where you got to get fingerprinted, and
Yeah,
stuff like that before God can coach. And I'm kind of sitting on both sides of the fence, man, because sometimes people are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Sometimes people, they do things, they made a mistake, and I think some of those people can be some of the best people to guide their youth, because they've been through some things that maybe me and you haven't been through, and we can't tell them how to do it. And just because they made that mistake, it's
yeah,
kind of like we punish them for life, man. And I don't agree with certain things like that. So I think that's a big thing that keep a lot of guys stop from helping out because of that fingerprint thing. It definitely should be guidelines, and certain people shouldn't coach pedophiles and things like that. But I
mhm,
think other things, if the guy could come forth to the committee or whoever is running it, states why he wants to do it, why not? Why not give those guys a shot? Because it's a lot of those guys on the sidelines that really want to help, and we just kind of punish them even more. And sometimes we force them back out into that life, because the coaching and stuff, could be that outlet to kind of turn them around.
that's the truth. Wow, that's powerful information, man. Appreciate you, man, and all that you do, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man. We gotta, we gotta do it, man. We gotta leave some legacy behind for our children. Like I said, for the next generation, and we gotta lead by an example. And I know it's not easy with a family, being married.
Yeah,
That's why I give you utmost props for what you're doing, man. Because you're married, you got a family, spending time with your kids. You still try, you still got to get your wife in that quality time, and
yeah,
you still got to work. You still got to work, and you out here giving your time to the youth, and that's not something easy to balance either. You need a spouse that's behind you 100% because that could cause friction. And that too, I think a lot of more moms should encourage their significant other too to go out and help. I think that's a big part too.
Wow, that's key stuff, man. So if there's anything that I can ever help, man, just let me know. Don't hesitate.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you, man. I got your number. We gotta get up and do some more, community things. And it's not just Millville versus Bridgeton, and it's not just rivalry. Let's just all come together and just do something for the county. Because Violin, Millville, Bridgeton, we got incredible athletes. We got good resources. Got you over there doing good things. I know Nicole Kinsey is in Violin with VBA doing some things. Somehow, we gotta all put it together, man.
Exactly. Yeah, man. So let's link up, man. Get it done. And I appreciate you for coming on with catching up with Coach, bro.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for everything you do in the community, man. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
All right, likewise. Have a good night, bro.
All right, you too.
Thanks.